Good afternoon and welcome back to Bald Father Bets, guys. For our NFL Week 8 recap video, we're coming at you from a parked car video because I-20 in Birmingham, Alabama is completely shut down heading from west to east. So we've been sitting here for like 20 minutes and it's like, well, why not just knock this out? So NFL Week 8, we're not gonna have a lot, guys, because there were so many blowouts. Like, there's a couple things to talk about from a futures perspective, and we'll start with the Ravens. So the Ravens get that win, and now they moved into minus money to win that division with only 2 wins through Week 8. So that goes to show you how much the odds makers give to a healthy Lamar Jackson coming back and to that organization. I don't know if I'm quite there yet with it, but I agree with them being favored to win the division. The Steelers can do some magic to get it to a point to where, like, the Ravens just can't catch up to that number. But we all know the Steelers are going to finish 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, something like that, and be vying for the last spot in the playoffs. That's just what they do. It's what they're going to do. At the end of the day, I trust the Ravens team more. And the Steelers clearly have a lot of weaknesses, which I think people started to finally realize after the Packers drubbed them. The Packers and the Lions coming down on that NFC North, that's going to be a fantastic push too. The Packers looked phenomenal. They looked the best that they had since early on in the season. And when they put everything together like that, that's the team that people are like, okay, that's a favorite to make it to the Super Bowl, to the NFC. And obviously we know what the Lions are. The Texans also got a much needed win with CJ Stroud probably playing the best game I've seen him play all year. Maybe the best game of his career. Definitely the best game probably since his rookie season. They could make a push here for the playoffs too, because that defense has been good this whole time. You look at advanced metrics, they got like a top 3 defense in the league. Their offense has just been absolute dog shit for a while, and they couldn't get away from that. I mean, you talk about that Seahawks game where their defense forces 4 turnovers. They're +3 on turnover margin, and not only do they not win, they don't even cover the spread. That's how bad the offense has been. If the offense can get more performances like that, again, against a depleted 49ers defense, so that's why we need to take this with a grain of salt, and why I'm saying it, potentially, not known fact at this point, they could make a push. Colts looked dominant again. I'm not where I was a few weeks ago, where I'm saying we need to pump the brakes on this Colts hype. They're very, very good. I don't know if they're the Super Bowl favorite out of the AFC over the Chiefs. Chiefs, I think, are still the Super Bowl favorite. Advanced metrics, DVOA, all that stuff would tell you that the Super Bowl matchup, the 2 best teams are the Colts and the Seahawks. Odds makers would tell you the Super Bowl matchup and the 2 best teams are the Chiefs and the Lions. I tend to lean with the odds makers here on the AFC. On the NFC, I think there is serious value in taking the Seahawks to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl. We're actually going to add a pick that lays into that. I think you want to do it now, because what a lot of people are factoring in, I think, into the Seahawks odds are they believe the Rams are going to win that division. And with the Rams winning the division, that puts the Seahawks in a wild card spot, makes it more difficult for them to make it to the Super Bowl. You could have the Seahawks win that division, and then you could have the Packers win that division, making that the Lions are the ones that have to go on that wild card run and have every road game in order to make it to a Super Bowl. This Seahawks team is top 5 offense, top 5 defense by all advanced metrics, and the top 5 defense thing is real. It's very real. Now, could Sam Darnold shit himself in a big game? Yes. We always know that that's a possibility. But with the defense being with that real, especially at defensive line, they're always going to have that to fall back on. So I think the Seahawks team is real. I think there's very much value in picking them to win the NFC West. I think there's very much value in picking them to win the NFC. I've been more impressed probably with the Seahawks than I have been with any team so far this season. Saints are making the QB switch. No one is an auto fade the way the Titans are. We're going to play around with fading them maybe a little bit. as we move forward. There's things about that team that bettors love, like professional sharps love, that brings the line down. It's weird because the sharps love that we gave out the Chargers -9.5 against the Titans. You can get that at a better number now, which blows my mind. The Titans are 4-21 ATS over their past 25 games, and you have sharps still coming in and hitting that number and bringing it down. Sharps love the Jets. Sharps love the Saints. These teams don't cover that often. I love the Jets too. That's my weekly ritual, is that I bet on the Jets and then we lose those bets. But anyway, Spencer Rattler probably wasn't the problem on that Saints team. There was actually some metrics that were telling you that he was pretty good, and some advanced analytics and advanced film study that were telling you that he was pretty good. I was one of the people who believed in him. I don't know if I thought like he was their quarterback of the future, but I'm one of the people who says like, yeah, that wasn't really the problem so far. Like the Saints have a bad team right now, and Kellen Moore isn't really cut it as a head coach right now. So yeah, we'll see how that moves moving forward. Bills got back on track by just blowing out the Panthers, but it was Andy Dalton, so I don't know if we can make too much about that. Jets had a really nice comeback win for Aaron Glenn's first win. I think a lot of that had to do with the Nick Mangold stuff gave them something to rally around and kind of forget about the owner's comments on Justin Fields and all that stuff. Like they came together as a team, and again, guys, they did it against a Bengals team who we know doesn't have a great defense, and I love Joey Flacco, but has Joe Flacco a quarterback and not Joe Burrow, so everybody needs to pump the brakes on the Jets. Actually, I don't think anybody's gassing up the Jets. I would just congratulate them on their first one. So no, you don't need to pump the brakes. Just they're a one-win team. There's just not a whole lot from this past week. Again, we're starting to look at the playoff picture take shape. I got advanced metrics is telling you Colts and Seahawks are the two best teams, AFC, NFC. Odds makers are telling you it's Chiefs and Lions. I lean more Lions and I lean more Chiefs and I lean more Seahawks. You got to kind of know how to mix odds makers, analytics, and then just your eyes. That's one of the most important things when it comes to being successful at betting on games. We're going to give you a couple more picks before we get out of here. So we gave you Lions -8.5 for 3 units. You can get Lions -8. We're going to add another 2 units on that. So it's a total of 5 units. I think you can take the Lions anything up to -10. We are adding the Panthers +14. We are betting a little bit here that Bryce Young is going to play. If he doesn't, obviously, then we took it too early. But we're doing the Panthers for 3 units there at +14. This one's hard to tell you what you can take it down to, because like if he plays, probably taking anything down to Panthers +10. If he doesn't play, then you really don't want it at all. So yeah, kind of do with what you will on that one. I don't have much. We're also making another injury game early bet. We're taking the Seahawks -2.5. I would play it up to anything up to -3 against the Commanders. I just talked about how much I love the Seahawks. We know how well the Seahawks play on the road. I still hate this bet if Jaden Daniels plays. We're doing it for 5 units because I really do not think he's going to play. He has a hamstring injury. His goal was to test it for the first time today. It's Wednesday. A hamstring injury is tricky, and it's not something that you want to play with, especially for a player that plays like him. You can see how long the Ravens have kept Lamar out. I don't see the Commanders pushing. He's younger, yes, so he's going to recover quicker. I just don't see the Commanders pushing a hamstring injury like that. So we are making a little bit of a gamble here that Jaden Daniels does not play. So we're taking the Seahawks -2.5 for 5 units. If he officially gets ruled out, that number won't be available anymore. It'll shoot well up past 3, which is why we're grabbing it now. Even if he plays, I still think there's a 50-50 shot we can cover that number because of how shit the Commanders' defense is. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, but you saw what the Chiefs offense did to him in the second half when they stopped turning the ball over. Oh, and we add one more college play. We are taking Utah minus the 9.5 for 5 units against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a nice story. I know they have 1 loss. I know this is where game day's going. I know people are looking at the number thinking, oh my gosh, this is too big. Utah should blow them out. Utah should blow Cincinnati out. Cincinnati's a little bit undersized. In theory, you can run on them. I don't care who plays quarterback for Utah. Utah should blow them out. So we're taking that one. That's it. That's all we've added. We will be back at you again tomorrow for Thursday Night Football. We've already made that play, given it to you, but obviously we'll break it down a little bit more intensely and why we made it and what we think and why on earth are we rolling the way that we're rolling. But thank you guys. Appreciate you very much. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Let me know what your thoughts are on the NFL so far this season. Let me know who you're eyeing kind of now that we get that playoff push. And stay safe out there.